Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of January 7th, 2024. I am so tired after what I've done this weekend. And even saying that, Commish, who isn't here with us yet, is going to be even more tired after today. I guarantee it. Mm-hmm. I'll start with introducing the folks who are here first. I've got Beth, Pitt Girl, special guest Joey, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Beth, how are you?
It's the off season. I'm great.
It is. No, it's welcome
to the off season, everybody.
It's not
yet. It is now when they hear this.
It's the off season.
That's fine. Okay.
The NCAA College Football Championship has been awarded. It is the off season.
That is true. Well, yes.
Hang on. Make sure when this is edited, like in case it doesn't get awarded.
Well, no, I mean the NCAA Division One Football Championship.
Sorry,
they got awarded today. Yes.
Sorry.
The Invitational has a contest tomorrow.
Sorry for stomping all over your riff.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm excited to see the first exhibition game tomorrow night, but welcome to the off season, everybody.
Just a heads up for everyone on the pod right now. I still got a couple minutes left in the accountant, so I'm just not really paying a ton of attention. Just don't say or anything like that, and it's almost over. We're in the final few minutes.
That's fine. Yeah.
You know you're gonna have to bleep your own use of that word, though.
That is true.
Oh no.
Yep. That's fine. Hey, girl, how are you?
I went to the farm show today, so
Yay.
I am so good. I am so good.
Hail to the farm show.
Hail to the farm show. This year's special milkshake flavor is salted caramel, and it was pretty good. I liked it more than I expected to like it. Also, I am pleased to inform the listeners that as of the time that you will hear this recording, the farm show's first mullet contest will have occurred. As
the categories were great too. I saw your post.
Yes. The inaugural mullet contest is tomorrow, Monday the 8th. There are categories for juniors, adults, and mullets of the past. So if you are in the Harrisburg area and wish to enter the mullet contest, you have missed it this year, but you can start growing out your mullet for 2025.
Is this a permanent fairground for the farm show?
The farm show is the largest indoor ag expo in the country. If I recall correctly, the building takes up an entire city block. I walked 4 miles today, and it was almost entirely at the farm show.
Jesus.
So if we tape the Kibbe Dome and Hold Arena together,
it would almost be that amount.
How many carrier domes do we need to add?
Oh my god! I can't do math right now. Don't make me do that. So what's your favorite part of the farm show?
I don't know.
Milkshakes.
Milkshakes.
And the bun bin.
The bun bin is very good. They just have all of the prize winning rabbits in rabbit holding containers stacked upon on top of each other, and it's very cute. You can walk through and see people fluffing up their show cows. That's always fun. Very fluffy cows. There is the calving corner where you can sit and wait in stadium style seating for very pregnant cows to give birth while you watch.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There are text alerts if you would like to watch the live stream of the calving corner.
Do they time that for the farm show?
They bring in very pregnant cows on a rotating basis for the whole week. The farm show runs this entire week. And I am acquainted with someone whose cows will be in the calving corner, I think Wednesday and Thursday of this week. So stay tuned. Yes, it's an experience. It is the best way to describe it to people who are not from Pennsylvania is that it is the Pennsylvania State Fair, but it's inside.
And please rate the sculpture.
Yes. This year's sculpture was a 7. It's good. It's just not as good as nothing will ever be as good as the gritty sculpture.
As butter gritty, yeah.
So it is a full butter sculpture. Now, is it a butter sculpture in that I could cut straight into it and it's butter all the way through?
It definitely has chicken wire holding some of it up, but it is a solid layer of butter over the chicken wire.
It is 1,000 pounds of butter.
Yes.
That's a lot of butter. Okay.
It is a lot of butter.
Yes.
Can I get a text alert when part of the butter melts? They keep it in a nice little chiller.
It's in a plexiglass case that I am sure is refrigerated, or at least to keep it reasonably solid.
What do we have to do to get media passes to go in the box? Because I do want to go in the box.
The box for the calving corner?
No, the butter box.
Oh,
Look, man, if you want to get up close with the cabin corner, I feel like you don't need a media pass for that. Just
No, I can just like go. I don't have to go very far to have that experience if I want it.
I can't. Oh my! Like, I am a city boy. I've said this before. I am an indoor cat. I've said that before. I cannot fathom getting a text alert for a calf birthing, and being like, oh, it's like, it's the 9:00 Phantasmic. Got to get there and get my seats.
I
You
am
just
also
want to make sure you sit in at least the 4th row, because the first 3 rows are the splash zone, and if you didn't bring a poncho, it can get kind of dicey.
It's like a Blue Man Show group. Okay, Blue Man Group Show. Okay, yeah.
I am also a city boy, but the city I grew up in prides itself on the fact that 20 years ago it had the record. A cow on a farm just outside town had the record for most milk produced. So, yes, Morgan.
I was reading the Wikipedia page for the Farm Show Complex to give everybody slightly more context.
Yeah.
The Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex and Expo Center, formerly known as State Farm Show Arena, is a large exhibition center and indoor arena in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Primarily used for concert, agricultural exhibitions, the Pennsylvania Farm Show, and indoor football.
Oh.
Farm Show Bowl game?
Yes.
Add it to the spinny wheels. In fact, did we ever do the national championship game?
I don't think we did.
Because if not, I would like to unilaterally move it there, and I don't want to move the farm show.
Play around them.
We're putting it in the horse arena.
Yes.
I mean, that's gotta be where it is, right? Like, that's the only space that's large enough.
No, I think actually for indoor football, it would have to be like in the Expo Center, and they would put up temporary bleachers. The horse arena is not big enough for football.
I mean,
it's big enough
we
for
would
basketball.
not. To be clear, we would not put up temporary bleachers.
No, everybody
What'd
just
you say
stand
it's
on the
called?
floor.
Farm Show Arena?
I'll send you the link.
I was trying to find what teams have played there, and there is a major arena soccer league team there that plays there right now called the Harrisburg Heat, but I didn't read it like that. I read it as Harrisburg Meat. Like, that's
Also
That'd be a better name.
Harrisburg Meat's like the worst name I can think of for an arena football league.
Yeah, indoor soccer.
I found a picture of the indoor soccer, in its indoor soccer configuration, and this is an arena. I thought this was just gonna be like a little cow pasture. No,
It's big.
Yeah,
Big.
and I think listen. If we're gonna play this silly exhibition game here in the off season, it would be greatly improved by farm show milkshakes.
That is, you know what? That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Commish, you made it.
He put up his waiting finger.
Oh, he's waiting. Never mind.
Oh, I just want to make sure my mic is working correctly.
No, you're
We can
working.
confirm that it is working correctly.
All right.
Commish, it's like I just left you. I just saw him. I gave him a hug about 5 hours ago in Frisco, Texas. And he handed me 3 Ziploc bags of koozies that I had to walk back to my car.
Yeah.
By the way, I parked a lot further away than I thought I did. That walk on the way over, very short. Walk on the way back, very long.
Arthur, I'm going to need you to go back in and bleep out koozies and just overdub cocaine.
bags of
Cocaine.
juice.
But you also have to overdub it in like the worst way possible.
Yeah,
Bags of cocaine.
Double over
It's
with
fine.
Beth's voice.
I'm watching the accountant closing credits right now.
There you go. You got to get all the credits in. Well, I think that the first thing we should probably talk about then is the FCS title game. Congratulations to the South Dakota State Jackrabbits for their two-peat this year. They beat the Montana Grizz 23-3 in Frisco, Texas. It was a beautiful day for a football game. Y'all, I can't begin to describe to you how goddamn loud it was. I have been to loud games. There were about 20,000 people there. And the stadium in Frisco is built into the ground. So the outer level, the concourse is the ground level, and it goes in. And y'all being on the field was deafening. It was amazing. It was packed. I've never seen it that crowded except for maybe, I think I saw one U.S. women's national team match there that came close. And it was so much fun. Shout out to Big Sky Conference that helped us get in, because there were a lot of folks that were paying a lot of money to get into that game. Before game time, it was $250 to stand at the game.
Whoo!
Yes.
And I feel like it's worth just reminding that this was in Texas and it was South Dakota State versus Montana.
Yes. And it was our good friend CFP Campus Tour, who's going to be with us on Tuesday. he had trouble getting his ticket, and the ticket group he went with said, just buy another ticket, we'll reimburse you the difference. And when he got that ticket for standing room only, it was $900.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so this was a spicy ticket to get into. Both sides were crammed. Montana fans showed up in droves, and South Dakota State fans showed up in droves, and it was amazing.
It looked awesome on TV. Like this was a fun watch for crowd stuff.
I'm glad because, man, it felt that way. You know, we would have loved if the Grizz had not evaporated down the stretch. But it was 7-3 going into half. And it was a close game. The first quarter only had 2 drives. In fact, it did not have 2 complete drives. No. The Grizz finished their drive on the first play of the second quarter.
Yeah, that was right by us. So it was a 4th and goal at the 1, and they attempted to run the ball. It seemed like the player from Montana could just stretch it out, but the South Dakota State player just did not allow the stretch.
Yeah.
Because if he tried to stretch, it was going to be a fumble, and so it was crazy. To see that, take a video of it, and then also the overexcited South Dakota State fan that jumped in front of the ESPN camera that was on the sideline, and he got reprimanded for that. That was pretty awesome.
You can't mess up the broadcast.
Can't do it. Don't mess up the shot.
You can only mess up the shot if you're in the Liberty Bowl.
Yeah, well, it's easy.
It's the only thing that's allowed.
I want to say thank you to our friends at Jackrabbit Illustrated, which is a South Dakota State media folks. They had a great setup. We wandered over to the South Dakota State side once we got there, and I was wearing a maroon hoodie. Okay, y'all? This is the same centenary hoodie that I wore last night at the Split Zone Duo live show. I was like, it's a neutral hoodie, right?
No.
Centenary's a neutral team. No one will know that here, but it's maroon. That is a Grizz color. So when we walk over to the South Dakota State side looking for folks, I get accosted is the wrong word, but I had some South Dakota State fans who were very unhappy with me, and luckily he offered me a beer, and I said, well, I guess I have to take my hoodie off then. And I was wearing blue underneath. I'm wearing my Strut of Destiny home field St. Peter's Peacock shirt. Which he was like, close enough. That's fine.
Close enough. Blue is fine. And they gave us some lovely bush lights.
They did.
I will say your centenary hoodie made it very easy to spot you in the photo of the Split Zone Duo live show.
Oh, that was like me in every one of those fucking photos right on the edge too. It's great. So we did that, had a beer, talked to the folks at Jackrabbit Illustrated. They had the most beautiful colored beards. They glittered their beards up, which is wonderful. We talked to a giant rabbit. We made some new friends. We found out also that the South Dakota State band directors are big fans of us, all of them. And so went in there, gave them some free stickers, right? Like the bands were going, like right before they started playing stuff. I was like, hey, and what I usually do is instead of going, I'm with the Sickos committee, I just pull out a sticker and hand it to someone because that usually they recognize it, they know. And the dude was like wearing his, blue and gold tie and his jacket and slacks, whatever. He's like, oh my God, I love you guys. And so all 3 directors got swag and they gave us Pride of the Dakotas band hats.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much.
So I absolutely love that. It was amazing. It was great to see so many people so excited for us and the game and everyone. It was a blast.
So it's like, do you get to take your bassoon and I'll take my bass clarinet and we'll go up and play with them?
I told them I'd bring my clarinet.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not gonna haul a bassoon up there to play the game. But yes, the offer is there. When we go to Brookings, we can play with them.
Sweet.
This was great because both schools brought their bands, which is always amazing, and it makes us feel way more collegey than it would. Because I know there's lots of complaints about this is it's a soccer stadium, it's a little corporate, it's a little blah. But having the bands, having the cheerleaders, having a stadium that size where it can just be packed in with screaming fans makes this thing so damn good.
Yeah, it felt. I mean, I yelled about the Rose Bowl last podcast. Sorry. I when I listened to it back, I was like, man, I really went in.
Yeah, you did.
But this one was, look, this this felt like I don't know, like you get like the March Madness games that are like on campus. You get like the women's college basketball tourney, and it's an on campus stadium, something like that. It had a feel like that. It had a feel that is not just like a normal bowl game. I know you said something like corporate-y, but it just felt like it just had the NCAA branding on it, but it still felt like a college stadium, college game, even though it was like FC Dallas. It still felt like a national championship game without all like the ridiculous frills, I would say.
Oh, they did have a loud ass flyover by the South Dakota State guard.
Yeah, I was not ready for that. But that was
nuts. Loud as shit. I'd forgotten they were doing it, and about pooped my pants right there.
I mean, the sunset was nice
fighter jets
too.
there from South Dakota.
I think they used the local ones, but I'm not sure. I should actually look to see if they have the flight plan.
Oh, they honored him on the field at one point, and Monty was standing there saluting, so it was pretty nice. But
Monty was. Okay, do you want to talk about two very, very horny mascots? Because Jack.
Apparently you do.
Because Jack, but just by his nature, is super horny. Also, I found out he has hair. He wears a backward baseball cap all the time, but he has a little tuft. This is South Dakota State's mascot. Has a little tuft of yellow hair. But then Monty was all over the place. When the South Dakota State band was heading towards halftime, Monty goes sort of in the band areas. And there was like one band bomb or someone else sitting in the stands. And he starts like dancing for her. And then like turns around and like tries to back it up into her. This was great.
Whoa.
Yeah, Monty was super horny. It was great.
He was on top of the he was I don't know if you caught this, but he went over to the South Dakota State, like I guess flag team that runs on the field after, and he's like doing flips and like posing for them. Like he does like a flip and he lays out and he's like,
I didn't see this.
So good. It was ridiculous. One point Monty was in front of us and South Dakota State was trying to kick an extra point, and Monty decided to just shake his butt
at the holder
kicker and the holder, and it worked.
Yeah, that was the muffed extra point. Yeah,
that was the muffed extra point because Monty was shaking his ass on the pylon.
It was so good.
It was quite interesting.
You reminded me. I have a question.
Yeah.
Why did you guys fail us by not stealing the pylon?
They came in so fast.
It happened really fast. It did.
They knew. They knew that we were going to go for one of them. We wanted our own.
I'm trying to get the video of like they kneel and then the team rushes the field. As I'm taking the video, like the pylon people were already there. Like I was like, oh my God, I should have went for the pylon first. Forget the video. I should have got the pylon, which that's on me. That's on
your very own Perry the pylon. You could have had it.
I went back and found the video of the thing that started our pylon obsession, which was the Wyoming equipment guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I checked that old tweet. And I found out there's a tweet in the replies that didn't get any likes, so we must have missed it. That said, "Hey, that's me." And I checked his bio, and it says Wyoming pylon guy.
Love it. Done.
Did you follow him immediately?
I am going to now.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
We got
it. We also ended up on TV a few times because Commish and I were on the sidelines, and for a couple of plays, they were running right at us. And so again, I was wearing my centenary hoodie, not kind of hard to miss on the sideline. And yeah, that was hilarious. We ran into CFB campus tours. Like I said, we ran into Rodge, Roger Sherman, our good friend. We hung out with him for a bit, and yeah, got to rush the field. A very orderly field rushing. Did you see the video? Because they opened up all the gates and like let people get on the field for the trophy presentation. So everyone just like filed down very orderly.
Yep. Everyone's holding the handrails, walking down the stairs very neatly.
It was very. I mean, that doesn't.
It was more
happen.
a field processation.
That doesn't.
Feels
happen
like something that would
CFP,
happen
right?
at Michigan.
Yeah,
well, I mean, Vandy did that last year when they beat Florida.
That's right. It reminded me of the Vandy Field Rush. But like here, they let people on the field after the game because they do the trophy presentation in the. Okay, do you all know what this FC Dallas Stadium was built for? Like, because it was built for FC Dallas, right? But it was built for something else. It was built for Jimmy Buffett. Rest in peace, our good friend James Jimmy Buffett. He has one of his big like Margarita Fest concerts at the stadium every year, and so part of the stadium is a stage. like one end zone is just a stage. How far do you think
That explains it. Okay, because I saw the shots and I'm like, what is that?
where the band is, where
Yeah.
the bands were sitting? It's actually a giant ass drop off from the upper level, and there's no chair, there's no seating over there. That used to be where they used to put the FCS Beer Guardians, the beer garden like fans, but they've moved them, so no one uses that area anymore for FCS games. But it's just this giant drop off to get down there. It's like 2 flights of stairs to get down, like on the side of that little rocky area, and so it's so bizarre to have a stage there.
The shade was probably like 15 degrees cooler than it was in the sun.
It was windy as shit.
It was so windy. So I feel like I have like wind burn around my lips. I mean, it's just that was like incredible to just be like in the conditions. And my favorite thing is when we talk to the South Dakota State fans, when we were meeting, they were saying that the windy game against Villanova was colder than the one they had last year when they would open a beer and it would immediately freeze.
What game was that last year at South Dakota State?
I'd have to check it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
It was I think it was a quarterfinal game against like Holy Cross or something.
Okay, yeah.
That feels right. I'm not 100% sure, but that feels right. But it was like -8 and like the beer was like immediately freezing. Yeah. The one guy that we retweeted and quote tweeted, that was the person we met that opened the beer. Mm-hmm. So we got to meet like people from tweets. It was incredible. There was the family. I'm sorry, like I think the husband and wife that came down from Ypsilanti or something.
Yes,
around Ypsilanti or around Detroit and everything. And I think they live in Minneapolis. But you know, they were like, "Hey, we listen to your podcast." I'm like, "What? This is weird." And then like I'm like introducing myself. They're like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hi," I'm like saying my actual name, and they're like, "It's the Commish." Yeah, and I was like,
exactly.
I was like, okay, that's weird. But yeah, I'm wearing a backpack full of swag.
You're like a pinata. Whenever someone bumped into you, you were like, "Here's some stuff. Here's some stuff."
It was the swag pack, the swag pack. But like, just it was great. I was like, and then I had to like take it off and then like put stuff. At one point, I was just like, "Jordan, take stuff out for them." Mm-hmm. Like I just turned around and I'm like, "Jordan, give them swag." It's just like, here's a koozie. I'm sorry, we have to say that again. Like we have to bleep it again.
Cocaine. Here's some cocaine.
Here's a quarter bag. Would you like a dime bag sticker?
Have I ever talked to you guys how bad I am about situational awareness? Like that shouldn't surprise anyone.
That is profoundly unsurprising.
Right. So
your brand is very strong.
So when I go to games like this, and I've been on the sideline before, I always get really worried because I'll be standing like on the sideline looking at my phone, doing something, and not paying attention to the game around me. I've done this many times before. I ended up last year's Frisco Bowl. I almost ended up in one of the North Texas Boise State fights because I was just not paying attention. And this is also the one of the few times I ever got to sit like on dugout seats at a baseball stadium. I almost took a baseball to the head because, again, I wasn't paying attention. This happens a lot. I don't like sitting close in on baseball because I'm constantly afraid this is going to happen. Anytime I sit close to basketball floor, like I would be the dude that would just accidentally take 2 steps onto the court. Okay, I'm very bad with situational awareness. So I was super worried today that in all of those shots where like you saw someone diving for the pylon and we were close by, I was so afraid that I was going to end up being one of those people where I get wiped out just in a second. I survived though.
Proud of you.
You know what? I'm really proud of me too, if we're really honest here. In 2024, I'm trying to be more proud of myself, and I think that's a good thing.
Were you at the checkerboard end zone or the Montana end zone?
We swept back and forth. We were by the checkerboard end zone first, which was the side on the same side as the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we were. So yeah, we went to, I think it was the southeast corner end zone.
Yeah,
and the first thing I spotted was the spare set of chains.
That was great.
I was like, yes, in case the first down chains break, we have the backups right here, and we will guard them. Yeah, and then we got to see the touchdown ran into the end zone, and then we got the denial in the same end zone. Then we walked around again. We saw the folks that we saw the like the guy dressed as the bunny rabbit, which is oddly enough a Stephen F. Austin fan.
Yeah.
So it was quite interesting, but 2 in a row, which is supporting FCS brethren there. And we saw somebody in our Discord. I don't remember the name off the top of my head because I have just driven 10 hours and
can't imagine why.
Nearly 700 miles in a day. Which I did try both different kolache spots or Czech bakeries.
So you went to both the Czech stop in West and you went to Slovacek. Slovaceks.
On the way up, I went to the Czech stop. On the way back, I went to Slovaceks. Yes.
Okay, so what did you get?
So on the way up, driving, which I mean, basically it was like 3 hours and 10 minutes before I could stop, which is not bad. Shout out to Celsius Energy.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate them. Please sponsor the podcast. Czech stop. I got like a blueberry one.
Ooh, good choice.
And then I got just like a normal sausage, and then I got a spicy sausage and cheese one.
Okay.
Because I was curious on that. So the blueberry one, I didn't know if my taste buds were off, but it did not have much flavor. And I was like, oh my God, am I coming down with stuff?
Oh God, do I have COVID?
Like, do I have this now? I'm like, oh no, I can't believe this. But then I ate the spicy sausage with cheese, and oh my God.
Was it a little spicy?
It was spicy. It was a different style of sausage. I was expecting like the normal, I guess, like country sausage style, but this one was a little bit different texture. I had maybe about half of that one, and then I just went to the normal one. Yeah, I just like the sausage in one, and that one was really good. Like the texture of the sausage was fantastic. So that was good. On the way back, I was like, okay, let me try the other side. I'm gonna say the other side, Slovaceks, like the actual like gas station attachment, and it's much bigger. It is. I mean, very nice on the inside, like ridiculously nice. I wasn't expecting that.
It's minus, but yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, that's good. So I got it was dinner time, so it was about 6:30 Central. So I got a ham and cheese. Yeah. And they got that warmed up, and then I got a strawberry one just to see. I wanted some fruit again to see whatever. Gotcha. The strawberry one, oh my God,
that good?
Very good. And the ham and cheese, very, very good, flavorful ham. Hit the spot really, and gave me the energy to drive my butt back, along with another Celsius Arctic ice.
I will say that what I do like about Slovacek, I think Czech Stop still does this, but I know Slovacek does. They make traditional prune and poppy seed ones, which is like the traditional flavors, and I really like those because honestly, like that is. Yeah, I don't know. Like I really like those are just really classic. I will say that their Nutella cream cheese kolache at Slovaceks is too much. Like it's too sweet, it's too much. And I'm not one to say that about desserts, but like that one. Ooh. Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you got to enjoy those.
Yeah, it was good. I just want to put like a PSA, public sickos announcement.
Yes.
If you are in the left lane of the interstate.
Oh, drive in the left lane.
If you are in the left lane and you're driving in the left lane and there's like a line of cars behind you, right? And you're just driving in the left lane. There's a line of cars behind you. There's traffic. Move the fuck over. Seriously. Move the fuck over.
You're fine in the left lane, everyone.
No. Fuck that. I'm furious. Like I'm just hot. Like just got off the road. Like move the fuck over. All right, I don't give a shit if it's 75 and you're going 75. Move over. I don't care if it's 80 and you're going and it's the speed limit 75. Move the fuck over. No. You are holding up traffic, and there's 3 lanes. You're making people like dart across like 3 or 4 different lanes, like all over the place, just to try to get ahead of your ass, and you will not move the fuck out of the left lane. So again, none of the fine people on this podcast probably do this. But this is just a general announcement of frustration with the road in the left lane.
You're such a dad.
Anybody behind you,
Such a dad.
move the fuck over.
I will take this moment to remind our gentle listeners that if you are in Pennsylvania or Maryland, camping in the left lane is illegal.
It is in Texas too, Liv.
It's supposedly illegal in Texas, but nobody fucking pulls you over for it. So move the fuck over.
All I'm hearing right now is that Commish canonically hates Ohio State fans.
So funny thing.
Come at me, Buckeyes.
Commish,
Wait, what does that mean?
Did you see
Ohioans are left lane campers.
Those jerks.
Did you see in the picture you took of the stones with all of the schools in them?
Yes.
The Ohio State one was upside down.
It was?
Everyone noticed it. It's right next to the Michigan one.
It was in distress.
Someone flipped the Ohio State one upside down. It had to have been a Michigan fan that went through Slovacek's because that's so fucking funny.
Is. Holy crap.
And everyone, no, I know. There's no way you'd have seen it yet, but like everyone picked up on that.
Oh my God. I just said, ooh, the mother load. Because I took that as I walked out. Like I saw it when I walked in. And then there were like people standing there.
And everyone from Texas
out,
knew exactly where you were too. They were like, "Oh, you're at Slovacek's in West."
Yeah, that's where I was.
Because only they have that. Like that.
That's amazing. I didn't realize the Ohio State one is upside down, but that has to be Michigan fans that did it. It definitely had to be. Hopefully, I didn't cause too much of a stir.
I will say that I drove to Houston yesterday for the Split Zone Duo live show, and stopping at the Buc-ee's in Madisonville, which is on the way to Houston. I saw so many Michigan fans there. I assume they're like Texas locals that were just driving to Houston, or maybe they flew in. I know some Michigan fans like flew into Austin and drove to Houston because of the prices. But like, so many Michigan kids are getting stuffed Buc-ee Beavers next week. So many fucking kids are going to get those. I love it. Okay, Beth, since you haven't been here in a bit.
It has been a while.
Do you want to talk about your Mayo Bowl fun?
I had a lovely time at the Mayo Bowl, and
Good.
I called in, but I haven't listened to that episode yet because I'm still a little bit behind on my podcast, but not as behind as I was. So we're down to like 27 episodes.
I can't believe you listened to this. Why would you listen to this?
Don't insult the listeners that way.
I'm actively trying to get better.
I listen to the podcast. Like I want to hear. I do. As soon as it comes out, I want to listen to it. I want to listen to, because I miss stuff like Beth throws in an awesome joke, or Pitt Girl's got an awesome joke. Like there's stuff that I missed and I didn't react to it on the podcast. So I do that, and also the Commish is trying to improve his podcasting skills.
Oh, what we should do?
I need to work on.
We need film room.
Commission's film
we're
room.
grinding film.
I think
podcast tape.
Our podcast needs a commentary track that we do afterwards about each podcast episode.
I listen to each episode just because I'm keeping that spreadsheet going where I track who dropped the episode title each week.
There we go.
So it's the Sickos Committee.
Yes. the Sickos Committee podcast. Where we just
the musical, the show.
Uh-huh. So Beth, you got to go. You didn't have an allergic reaction?
I did not. And I burned no EpiPens during this thing. Like, so many thanks to Miller of the who was absolutely wonderful, of Duke's Mayo and the account fandom. He is a tremendous human being, and he came up and he's like, I just wanted you to know, he's like, we want to make sure you're safe here. I'm like, thank you very much, appreciate it. He's like, we're going to try to keep the mayonnaise away from you as much as possible. And he couldn't see that I had a jar of mayonnaise like right behind my laptop. Like I pulled down my laptop screen. He's like, oh no. I'm like, unopened, still safe. And I tweeted him at one point, and I'm like, can I go have the soft serve, after he'd been like, it has that twang, and he's like, yes. And then he's like, no.
So there's been a whole debate whether it's all mayo in the mayo bucket, because some people were arguing that it can't all be mayo, and he's saying it is, and that they just whip it. They put so much air into it.
The video that he posted has them with a paint stirrer.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And I was thinking, because Beth, you have soup paddle. You have many soup paddles.
Yes. Oh yeah, I could absolutely use the Superware for this, but it would probably take several days, maybe maybe weeks.
I was also thinking, because what I wanted, I love immersion blenders. You guys have one of those?
Oh, absolutely.
So to make,
Yeah,
so
there's no such thing as a kitchen gadget I don't have. You know
okay,
that.
so if you guys don't know, if you're listening, you don't know what this is. Immersion blender is basically, you don't have to pour your soup into a blender to blend it. It's a stick that has a little thing at the bottom. And you just put it in your thing. They make immersion blenders that look like jackhammers. They're 2-handers.
Oh,
Mhm.
For like
Dangerous.
industrial use. And
Yep.
I'm thinking
What the hell?
that's what they need.
imagine the sound of sticking that into a thing of mayo.
Splorp. The bubbles that will come up.
Yeah.
It's going to sound like Jabba the Hutt having bad gas.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah. It would also, because they tend to create little vortexes where they stick to the bottom.
Mhm.
And so I can imagine one of those giant ass ones just getting stuck to the bottom of a Gatorade container of mayo and having to like shake it loose. And it's wonderful. I love all of this.
I mean, if you want, I can go get a paint stirrer and use my jar of Dukes and, put myself in a hazmat suit and see just how viscous I can make this thing.
Because they sell whipped cream cheese. And I'm like, well, whipped mayo, it must be a thing. Now I kind of want to try it.
Oh God.
This was a wonderful experience. My single favorite thing, I think that it's not really my favorite thing, but I'm not usually that awkward of a person in person. But boy, howdy, I had a moment where I walk into the press box after I looked like a 4-year-old in my first day of preschool. Like, I've got my little backpack and I have my stickers and I'm like, hi, I'm supposed to come in because I think this is the press entrance. And they're like, yes, it is. You can come in this way. And I'm like, okay, like in this one, they're like, yes, in this one. I'm like, I've never done this before. They're like, imagine that.
Oh,
How cute.
Yeah, so I get in and I get, I almost caused an altercation just trying to get in the door because I'm trying to squeak in like right before they open the gate, and the media entrance becomes a gate at that point. So there is a long line of West Virginia fans.
Gotcha.
And I just like bop up in front of all of them. They're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Hi, media. Bye."
I'm a big media person that does media things. I'm going in there.
You can tell because I look like I look like I'm on my way to school for the first time. Yeah. So I walk up to go get wanded so they check out my backpack.
Yeah.
And the lady's like, yeah, just go in. And I guess her, like the security supervisor is standing there is like, no, you have to wand her. She's like, she's media. And she's like, just because she says she is, you have to wand her. And so like they get into this big knockdown fight and I'm like, you're going to open the gate in like 3 minutes. Please just here. I'll take everything out. If I take everything out, does that make it better? And they're like, ma'am, what is this? And I'm like, this is an EpiPen. And they're like, what's this? I'm like, another EpiPen.
I'm allergic to eggs and I'm here on a death mission.
It was so bad. So like I go walking over and I get my badge and I go up and I'm trying to get into the elevator to go up to the press box. And there's a lady there who's looking at my badge, and I guess I'm the first person with this particular badge to try to get on the elevator today. And they're like, "Are you supposed to be here?" And I'm like, "I think so. Please don't yell at me." Terror.
I am very small, and it is my first day.
And there's a guy who walks on who's clearly, it's obvious that he's got to be on the Charlotte Panthers beat. He's got to be there like every 5 days. Yeah. And he's like, yes, she's supposed to be here. She's media. She's new. She's lost. Just take her up to 3. So like,
thank you so much.
He's like, I need to go down to 1 at some point because I have a field pass. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I appreciate, thank you. So like they take me upstairs and I'm following like the little signs over to the press box. Mm-hmm. I walk over to the press box entrance and I'm like, just go inside. So it was this interaction over and over and over again.
It's so, like, it's so much fun. And so like that little bit of anxiety, but also so much fun.
I kept waiting for someone to yell at me and tell me to go away.
Yes, I had the same thing. When I at this point, I'm a little less gun shy now, but I still have that thing of like, I'm going to get yelled at.
Oh yeah. So I walk in and they have the sign, like they have the sign up of where everybody's chair is in there. And I'm looking for where I'm supposed to sit. And I'm assuming I'm going to be like down with the idiots by the end zone.
Yeah.
So like I walk up and I look at the thing and I don't see me down there. And so I'm like, oh, maybe they just didn't give me a seat. So then I just sort of walk around aimlessly for a little while. Like, what do I do if I don't have a seat? Do I just find an empty seat? And so like I kind of wander my way over to the 50-yard line area, which is where the press box ends. And I see another sign and I'm like, well, maybe they're different. Maybe the signs are different in different places. I'm trying to rationalize this so badly. So I look at the little sign and it says like, and I'm like, okay, so who is supposed to be here? And it's all the TV people. So I'm looking down and I still don't see myself. I'm like, no, you know what? You're supposed to be here. Mm-hmm. Said you're supposed to be here, so we're just gonna look at the thing, and I'm sure I can find myself if I just calm down and I stop panicking. So I look down and I'm seat 13.
Yep.
And
Love it.
so
Number 13.
Oh my gosh, like I'm walking in with my little backpack trying to go sit down, and like everybody's looking at me like, who are you? Everyone's in business casual. I'm just dressed like an idiot, like I do. Yeah, and so like I have a whole bunch of people glaring at me for a bit, and it was wonderful. I loved this so much, and I didn't stay terribly long up there because I wanted to go down with the people where it wasn't soundproofed and weird. But
it is very disorienting.
It is.
With that, especially when it's glassed in, like it feels very weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. And for a while there, the PA announcer in the press box was like at the same volume that he would be outside.
Oh no.
So, like, you have the guy who's like, you know, the quarterback's number, back to pass, shotgun formation, to 23, tackled by 47, and was like, and that's a first down! For, I'm like, oh, God! Like, just terrible and deafening, and sorry about your levels, Arthur.
At least it wasn't the crazy Oklahoma guns inside a dome.
God.
Yeah, but it was absolutely wonderful, and I met some very, very cool people and some very, very awkward cool people, and it was just wonderful. Highly recommend. Go to the Duke's Mayo Bowl if you can. You'll have a great time.
Beth, I just want you to know that I'm really proud of you for getting through all of those awkward moments in the press box, because I would have shrunk into a tiny little ball and died and then ran away.
My favorite thing was having TV guy look up at me and be like, this profession's going to hell. That was my favorite moment of this whole thing, was just like, and that was the moment when like I walked out and I'm like, you know what? I am in the right place.
Yep, absolutely right.
Sickos committee. This profession's going to hell.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing that you'll learn if you do this multiple times is like, if you just act like you belong and like look like you belong, like even if no one knows who you are, like it will be completely okay. Like,
oh yeah,
because the thing, especially with like college sports, right, is like every game there's going to be people from out of town for a visiting team or a bowl game. I mean, especially there's going to be people that you've never seen before because maybe they're affiliated with one of the other teams. Maybe they only cover, big events in Charlotte, right? So like you don't all know them, right? And so you just kind of assume like, oh yeah, no, I see this person, like they don't look suspicious. They're cool. And that's like, yeah, like 95% of the time. I mean, there are probably lots of people that just like sneak in, or so I don't want to say lots of people, but like, and I don't want to like malign any security or anything at any of the events we've been credentialed for, but like, yeah, like if you just look like you should be there, they're like it. You could get away with a lot.
I mean, how did Puddles get on the field at UCF?
I mean,
right,
honor
right.
student walk. That's
bluff,
what he did.
You just bluff
Clipboard
your way
mentality.
in. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's the key. That's what you got to do. I mean, like I've always been properly credentialed whenever I've been places, but I know
I got the
there have
credentials.
been people who haven't. So and there have been I'll see people walking around and like see someone that is like, oh, that person doesn't have a credential, but like I'm busy doing my job. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say anything about that. My job is not security. My job is some sort of stuff else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, for the
You are
game. So,
not the
you
credential
can,
mark.
No.
My
I mean,
job
as
is friend
long-
of Tubby. I have a thing that says so.
No, well, and the other thing too, especially for these bowl games, is like, yes, like a lot of like the media is credentialed, but like there are a lot of other credentials, right? Like, I mean, like the
Mhm.
friend of Tubby credential, like there were probably, I mean, I don't know, I wasn't there, but there were probably a number of people there who were there in like a marketing capacity, like people who work for
Yeah.
like actual Duke's Mayo, like not the bowl, but are credentialed there. So like there are going to be so many like new people, so many people that don't really have a job. Like this is just kind of a like perk for working somewhere, right? So
there were so many people on the sideline today at the game that were just like part of the other, not Big Sky or Missouri Valley conferences. They were just part. Like, I saw like CAA badges. I saw Southland badges, although Southland hosted it.
Southland, yeah, they were the host.
But yeah, it was, yeah. In fact, we missed this part. Literally, as Commish and I are getting our credentials in the parking lot, the Big Sky Commish pulls up in like his SUV.
Yeah.
And just says like, we shout him out. And we're talking about the Big Sky Summit
arm
challenge.
Wrestling.
We gotta get an arm wrestling between the commissions because
we're like, are you ready? I saw the commish because the Big Sky commish, not myself, but I saw, like, I recognized him because again he signed a ball. The commish signed a ball for the commish when I went up there in September, which is, I'm still laughing at that happening.
Great.
But then I saw him, and so like the Tyson, the gentleman that helped us get into this game, he points out, he's like, yeah, and I was like, are you ready to arm wrestle? And he goes, he throws up his arm, he's ready. So they're still trying to make it happen.
It's a wacky thing.
The Summit folks are just like, hey, we won the points tiebreaker, there's no need for the arm wrestling, but we're trying
Summit
to give
League
the people
hates
what they
fun.
want.
Yeah,
You heard it here first.
We very much do need to get Miller from the Duke's Mayo Bowl on our podcast at some point. I'm sure he would appreciate, like, we could do a brainstorming session. Like, we can't have them falling behind the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
No, we can't.
Oh no, he's ready to go. He's got some more ideas. And
he is nothing but ideas. I learned that.
Yeah, he's full of ideas. We had a meeting with him, I think last year. Yeah. And he extended an invite to us, which I mean, I need to get. This needs to become a full-time job. So join our Patreon, subscribe to our Substack, buy a lot of merch, so we can do more things like what we did today. Which, you know, I felt like it was kind of sickos just because that they had it on with like the NFL clinching Sunday.
I mean, that was.
It's very weird that it's on Sunday.
I've got a lot of problems with this, and
Well,
if
I
you ask
mean,
the folks on the ground, they also have lots of problems.
There was a lot of problems with it, but it just felt like we were at the game that nobody was paying attention to, so that felt right as a committee itself. We were shining a light on the one that nobody's probably paying attention to because everybody's worried if they're going to clinch.
Even
the
though it's on ABC, on
ABC.
God's own ABC,
Yes.
and people were just like, "Oh, that's on."
It was infuriating that they went to halftime and immediately were like, let's talk about the FBS title game. And I'm like, no, let's not.
My God.
Also, just college football on Sunday feels bad and wrong unless it is Labor Day weekend. What are we doing?
It feels weird even that they're not even having this game tomorrow.
Right. Like they, this is.
Oh, I don't hate that actually. As like, I mean, it would suck for the fans. But as like here's an undercard. Well, I mean, it's not an undercard, right? But you sort of have it as a doubleheader.
Yeah,
that's kind of fun.
Or like
the real answer is move both of the games to Saturday as God intended.
That's the real answer.
Yeah, because I know at least, right? Like BYU doesn't play games on Sunday. BYU's obviously not FCS. Like, are there any FCS schools that don't play on Sunday, or is that just a BYU thing? And
I'm sure there are. There has to be some sort of like
there's got to be
conservative Christian school somewhere that does not.
Does
play
Grand
Sundays.
Canyon have football?
No, they don't. Just basketball. That, from what I know of.
Are you going to
Chick-fil-A college? They don't play on Sunday.
University of Chick-fil-A.
University of Chick-fil-A.
BYU.
They're the cows.
Virginia,
University
Calvin.
of Chick-fil-A is the cows, and they cheer.
Are we going to move?
Chicken.
Are we going to move? Can we move the Chick-fil-A Bowl to a Sunday? Is that something that we can't do?
Oh my God. I love how the Chick-fil-A inside the Atlanta Falcons Stadium is closed on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah.
It's not closed. They have like a different chicken restaurant that they have. So
They have
like,
a front.
Yeah. So
Totally
basically, they
not
just
Chick-fil-A.
like cover up all the
Totally.
Chick-fil-A signs and like serve a slightly different menu on Sundays.
Hey,
Commish,
this was Chick-fil-A yesterday, but today it's clucking chicken.
Are we counting what you just did as our subscribe to our
ads?
Patreon, Discord? Yeah, we're calling that our ad rate.
I mean, we can
We
do
got other
it.
ones
I
to
mean,
get through.
Homefieldapparel.com. Discount
Yes.
code yes ha 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 3 ha's yes for 15%
Use all that so
off your
Commish can
first order.
finally use that. Use all that so Commish can finally take up residence in that office that the Big Sky set up for him.
We did.
You
see
should also listen to the Message Board Geniuses podcast. It's very scary, but you should still listen to it.
I did get to meet Connor from Hopehill finally, the founder, in Houston, and they did an awesome thing where they had live. They did a live random mystery box shirt because the shirts got delayed apparently. So they had the shirts that they had coming in to sell got delayed. So they basically had to just make something up on the spot. So they did mystery boxes for everyone, and you're going to get the shirt shipped later. They gave you a little envelope to open. They did give Stephen Godfrey a Michigan shirt, which is
very appropriate for that one.
Which is beautiful. Okay,
I was proud of my home field tweet this morning, even though I was like sleepy as hell driving up.
Joey, can we talk about what you did this week?
Yes, on New Year's Day, I took the train over to Toronto, and I went to the first ever PWHL game. And we talked about things being like events we go to being like Sickos oriented. We went to the Duke's Mayo Bowl. We went to the FCS Championship. I felt so out of place here.
So what is this?
So the PWHL is the new pro women's hockey league. They, if you've heard of the PHF, which was on ESPN last year, that wasn't the national team players. There was a weird dispute between the players who play on the national teams and the PHF.
Okay.
That got resolved by basically the union buying the old league and making a new league.
Gotcha.
So
who are
this was the first game, and it's the first
teams
fully professional women's hockey league.
Who are my teams?
I don't know what qualifiers they're using for it,
okay.
But it's something like the first professional women's hockey league that's actually paying professional wage, not second job money.
So how many teams do we have?
We have 6 teams, the original 6, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, New York, Boston, and Minnesota.
Okay.
And notice I said markets and not team names because they don't have any. So this is sort of inside baseball. The team names got leaked, and they were so bad that they canceled it. So now they just have city names.
Oh, you gotta tell us what the bad team names were.
Time out. I gotta find the list. Hold up.
The ones I remember were the Ottawa Alerts. No, it was all singular. The Ottawa Alert,
okay.
The Toronto Torch.
That's bad.
I don't remember 2 of them, but I remember
I got them.
New York was the New York Sound because they play in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Oh, I hate that.
We also have the Boston Wicked. I hate that so much.
Wait, did we just refuse to pluralize anything?
Yes.
Yeah. No, like Wicked, like Boston Wicked.
I do like the idea of being like, good. Fuck it, we're gonna put the Green Witch on everything.
The Minnesota Superior, the Montreal Echo, New York Sound.
Hold
Toronto
on, you didn't say that
Torch.
right. Montreal what?
Echo.
Echo.
Is that like sponsored by Amazon at least?
Echo.
Montreal is sponsored by Air Canada, so no, I don't get it.
Hey.
Okay, I would respect it more if they were getting paid for this.
So yeah, these are bad.
And they got clowned on so hard that they just pretended that didn't happen, and they're just going with the city names. They said team names will come next year. This came so quick. Like, this league was announced 4 months ago, and they're already playing.
I do love the Washington football team energy of this too. Yep. Side note: the Washington football team should have remained the Washington football team. Don't at me.
For real.
Yes, seconded.
So I went to the first game in Toronto. It was Toronto, New York. It was so cool to be there, and I've never felt weirder. Thank God this was the first time we've gone to an event where it didn't say Sickos Committee on our badge.
Yeah.
Because after I got my badge, the first person I ran into, I swear to God, Billie Jean King.
No shit.
Oh God.
She does not need to know the Sickos Committee exists.
Yeah, no, that's fine. She doesn't need to know that.
And like the second person I ran into was Brian Burke. If you know hockey, Brian Burke is like an
Yep.
all-time famous GM and noted hothead.
Did you pick a
Again,
fight?
does not need to know what the Sickos Committee is. It wouldn't have even said Sickos Committee. It would have said Sickos on Ice because that's what I was credentialed for.
Yeah. That's yeah. There's a lot of people that I'm like in older media and older coaches. If Bobby Knight is still around, if Bobby Knight had ever found out that this existed, like there's no way.
I'm just trying to imagine like you run into Peter Gammon and you're wearing a Sickos Committee badge and just like, oh god.
Yeah, like hey there, how's it going? Just no, not.
So I'm spending that entire time absolutely terrified. I talked to some like younger media people, a couple people from TSN that were super nice, and then this one guy comes over and goes, "Hey, did you say you're with the Sickos?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, I love your stuff. That's amazing." And I was just like, "Of all places, here?"
We're huge in Canada.
Yeah, apparently. So I talked to that guy.
We have listeners in Newfoundland. I found out we do have listeners in Newfoundland.
Don't,
so every
you
time,
need to stop
no,
slandering.
they're all, no. Fucking Newfies are still all weird perverts. Okay,
Dude,
they're weird perverts.
I'm
nice
gonna get
to the
deported to a
listeners,
country
Jordan.
I'm not
nice to the
from.
listeners, man.
I love everyone except for the fucking Newfies.
Come on, man. Apparently that's
I'm going to
slur.
get-
They're
deported.
very nice. They do have a tendency to drool, but it's not their fault.
That's genetic.
I have nothing but respect for the great province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Everyone forgets about Labrador, but it's also there.
Also very nice. Less of a tendency to drool.
Big fan of tennis balls though.
Something that was super cool was the first ever goal of this women's professional league
Mhm.
was scored by a woman I went to high school with.
Oh, very cool.
And I saw her in the hall, and I just went, "Hey, I congrats!" Like,
Oh,
I
so
tried
smooth.
I tried to say like, "Hey, remember we went to high school together?" And I was just like, "Oh no, you are way above me at this point. I can't."
Okay, that's
That was an
awesome. I'm
goal.
glad you did
I'm
that.
with the Sickos.
Yeah.
See what I've
Um,
done after high school?
Look at you're playing professional hockey in front of every single sports channel in Canada. It was like a presidential address. Every single sports channel in Canada was showing this game, and here I am also here in a similar capacity.
The same really when you think about it.
That's right.
I will say there's a new rule in this league that they're testing out where if you score while your team is serving a penalty, that penalty just ends and you get your player back.
Ooh.
I like that.
So it's
And-
like prison ball. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So on the Sickos on Ice account, I said we should call them jailbreak goals.
Yes.
I like that.
And one reporter retweeted it, and I went back and verified that I was the first person to say that. And now Sportsnet, TSN, CBC, Nesson, and all of them are calling them jailbreak goals. So I'd like to say that we've contributed to the greater lexicon of sports now.
TM.
Congratulations to us.
Perfect. I love that.
This is our surrender
TM,
cover.
TM.
TM,
Yeah.
TM.
Thank you, Joey. That's great. If you don't follow Sickos on Ice and you are a hockey fan, or if you're not a hockey fan, I don't give a fuck. Follow it. It's great. We also have Sickos CBB. We have Summer of Sickos, which is Sickos of Summer, which is
Sickos of Summer.
Summer, which is our baseball
Summer
account.
of Sickos is our cool rebrand in June.
Yes.
And then someone asked that we should do a European or World Football Association football soccer account. And y'all, I don't have
Isn't that the
attention
main
span.
account?
yeah,
I do little stuff there, but God,
yeah, we can't.
I have said before that the main account is football, all football.
all football,
yes, yeah,
all football is good football.
rugby.
Rugber.
Jesus
Rugber.
Christ.
That one is
Rugber?
also football.
Rugber.
Yeah, so perfect.
Which is-
Also,
Maybe I'll
we
get
have
really
Too
into
Fast, Too
Gaelic
Sickos,
football
which
over
is
the
wonderful.
off season.
Also, we have Too Fast, Too Sickos, as Joey said, and I just complain about people driving in the left lane and not getting the fuck over.
Basically it.
That's what I do.
Also a motorsport, if you think about it.
Yeah, it is. Get the fuck
And
over.
naturally, all of our accounts provide just up-to-date World Vision coverage because it's that important.
Do you guys know that you're supposed to zipper merge?
Yes.
Yes.
I actually
Okay.
try to. It doesn't always work because people don't know that they're supposed to zipper merge.
Because people get weird about this.
Yeah.
I think you're cutting them off, but you're supposed to say, if you don't know this, if you're listening to this and you don't know this, I'm going to teach you something today, okay? Jordan's going to teach you something here. You're supposed to get, if there's 2 lanes to 1, you're supposed to stay in the lane you're in. You don't move over early.
Mhm.
You wait till the point of merging and then you get in.
Mhm.
If you get in early, you fuck up the flow of traffic.
Yes, it is actually more efficient to wait and merge at the end of the ramp.
This
know
has
when-
been half as interesting / Sickos Committee podcast.
You know when Jordan said, "Let me teach you something," he flipped his chair backwards.
I did, yeah.
Yep.
Got my chair backwards.
And he
Hey, kids.
lifted up his leg to the side and was like, let me teach you about the zipper merge.
Sam from Wendover, invite us on to the next season of Jetlag. We'll show you Shreveport and Denton and all these wonderful cities and all these
Monroe.
towns in
Monroe,
Pennsylvania and West Virginia.
I can show
Did
you.
we say that
Shreveport.
we ran into Rodge at the championship game too?
I said it, yeah.
Okay, just because I came in a little bit late, so because I was driving and people in the left lane wouldn't get the fuck over. So yeah, that was fun.
Okay, so what else do we have? We do have this game tomorrow night.
Well, I mean,
I guess.
did we talk about my TV appearance on Friday?
Let's do
Oh,
that.
we have
then.
not.
Oh, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
was
Commish went on FanDuel TV and the internet, YouTube.
internet.
Now here's the thing, guys. If you didn't see this, he did a great job. He was talking about our charity drive for Iowa, in which we've raised at this point over $20,000, I believe,
Hell yeah.
which is amazing.
Yep.
But he didn't get to do his whole time on there because there was this person I'd never heard of before that preempted him a little bit. His name was, I believe, Deshaun Jackson.
Oh,
Is that a character on NCIS Sydney?
I think so. I'm not sure. They were talking about this National Football League. It'll never
Yeah.
catch on.
no idea what it was.
Is that what they're calling the Big Ten SEC Alliance?
Basically, yes. Oh, they should go with that. We'll call that the National Football NFA, National Football Association. They'll love that. But then afterwards, Commish goes on and talks about our charity drive, and it was great.
Yeah, I was on a show called Up with Adams, or Up and Adams.
Yeah, Up and Adams, yes.
Up and Adams. Okay, so it's with Kay Adams, sportscaster, which I think she was on the NFL Network for like a while.
Mhm.
Like I think it was like Good Morning Football. So she was there, and then she's got her own show now, which is, I mean, it's cool. I was basically sitting in the Zoom watching the show, but I got like the background of what happened. Like when they went to commercial, like you would just see like the guests there, the host there, the producers coming on and everything like that. You would see all that stuff happening. So they had like a little clock for like the commercial clock. It was pretty, fascinating to see that side of things. And then like there's people talking to me in my ear, just I'm getting like a message in my ear while I'm about to talk there, and it's just like,
Yeah.
it
was a real thing.
I was like, what the hell is this? Like, how am I? Like when I did the Feinbaum show, like I didn't show my face; they just put the Sickos like cartoon up, and which was strange. But
I assumed that was what you looked like.
when I don't shave, I look like that.
It's true.
But that's very true. And my shirt always says Sicko. So, but really, this was like an honor to get like asked to do this. Like they sent us an email, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday, and they were like, "Hey, when can you do it?" I was like, "Yeah, might as well just do it Friday." And they have a segment where it's something called K Caught Ya. And I'm like, okay, so Kay caught me doing what? And so like they were like, hey, we caught you doing something good. So like FanDuel, TV was just like, hey, they donated an extra $1,000, and then Kay asked for her logo to be beveled, and she would donate $1,000 herself. And again, I don't like this is happening. She's trying to talk me into Harbaugh to the Patriots at the end. I don't necessarily know.
That was so good.
I was like, I'm feeling Chargers here. And she was like, oh, I don't want to hear it. Going to the Patriots. I was like, okay. Like, so it was, I thank them so much and thank the donations, the community crisis service in Iowa City. I mean, $20,000 essentially to them, which is incredible. I am thankful for all of the donations. The amount of gifts that I've had to send out. I'm done. I passed all the koozies and everything to Jordan.
I'll be doing it now.
He's gonna
Passed all the
finish
what?
it off. We gotta let me see if I can come up with another thing. I passed all the quarter keys, the kilos, to Jordan to mail out via USPS. So it is
Now if it's late, you can come bitch to me, and you know.
yeah, you can yell at him.
You're not going to get like contrite,
No,
apologies.
You're
from
going to get
Commish.
a like and
Yes,
no response.
exactly. Oh,
deal with it. It'll show up when it shows up.
I'm a lazy fucker. Like, you're right.
But I've mailed out, I swear, almost like 350, 400 things, and Jordan volunteered to finish it off. I don't even know how many we got left.
Figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But again, be patient with us for the drive. We appreciate all of that. We're trying to send the gifts as much as possible, as fast as possible. Well, I don't know how fast Jordan's going to do it.
Yeah, you're dealing with me, and you'll like it, fuckers.
Yeah, you'll like. But yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I'm on TV. I'm like,
I don't mean to be adversarial with our
weird.
listenership. I just feel like
Are you
that's the
sure?
role I'm getting into here.
I was like, I am Jordan.
It's the
following
fact
this
that it's Liam from Well There's Your Problems influence is what it is.
that has to be Liam's influence. We need Liam on here, and we
Liam,
need
come on the podcast.
Yeah, we need Liam on here, and then we just need to not edit him. Just let him go. Except if he says something actionable. That is the thing we do have to cut. That happens every
From what I
episode over there,
understand
too.
from that show, they just have a bleep button that they just hit live, so it works out.
There you go. So, guys, once again, thank you so much. $20,000 is huge for any organization, but especially for an organization that is helping so many people in Iowa and Iowa City.
I mean, I was hoping we hit the goal, but like we went over it. I'm just blown away by everybody's generosity. So that is, I mean, I don't even think Iowa City. What's the population of Iowa City? Like, I don't even know, but it just feels like it's
More than 30.
74,596 as of 2021.
It's big.
Okay.
Yeah, more than 30.
More than 30. Technically correct.
Okay, so we do have that thing tomorrow night in Houston.
Do we?
Yes, it is a.
What
It is.
The
a.
exhibition game.
Oh.
I actually have an angle on it now, so
Go.
Okay.
Okay.
let's
Oh.
talk about this.
So the invitational tournament has its final game, and we get to watch Michigan and Washington play a game that I will fully admit that I am looking forward to watching
Mhm.
because it
Mhm.
should be fun. That's
high
my
banger likelihood.
yes, and it's Monday night. That's weird. It's got a lot of stuff wrapped up in it, whatever. But honestly, I'm looking forward to this game more than I think I have to any championship game. Maybe
Yeah, even putting
ever.
all the pageantry aside, like Michigan versus Washington, like even if this was like a week 3 game, that's still a banger.
Yes. Now, I'll also say that this game is probably, because of the pageantry, going to last like 4.5 fucking hours. Like, it's going to be a long ass game. Commish and I were sitting on the sideline of this game today. We were like, this thing's moving.
Seriously.
FCS game was cranking.
I didn't even see the dreaded TV timeout person on the field.
The red dude, hardly.
Like the guy with the giant orange gloves, and then they hold up the scoreboard that's like 2 minutes and 50 seconds or whatever timer. I didn't even see that person on the sideline at all. So, I mean, this game was moving. And I mean, the way both offenses were in the first half, there's like maybe like 4 or 5 drives in the first half totally. But like this one tomorrow night, which again, you'll listen to this on Tuesday and it'll be funny. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of commercials. I wonder if GMC is still going to be having that 15% off MSRP for the all new Sierra.
So
We're all gonna hold hands and sing the Jardian song.
I do want I want Dr. Pepper to buy an entire ad block, like a whole commercial break, and run the whole season end to end.
Yes.
Yeah. Give us
I would
give us
love
the
that.
give us the Fansville
Like the Fansville
full-
recap show.
Snyder cut Fansville Like just
Previously on Fansville.
It's in 4x3 as the director intended.
just like 20 straight minutes of Fansville. Commercial break.
I will say
This
about...
film is being presented in 4x3 to preserve the integrity of Larry Culpepper's vision.
There we go. I remember that, like, I love watching the media college football media all go to one city, because when they all go to Houston, they're just eating like crazy. And they are going to need a cleanse after this week, because of the amount of barbecue and carbs I've seen go into people. These folks are not built for this.
No, this is what I love when they have like the national championships in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
And you just see all the media just eating everything that New Orleans has to offer. And it's just, by the time they're done, they just like, I need to go somewhere else. How can people live here?
I need to go sit in a sauna and get this meat out
I need
of me.
to just, I can't do another, what? Okay, I'll have another bread pudding.
If I eat another dozen oysters, I'm actually going to become an oyster, yes.
From a food location, what would be the funniest place to host the national championship?
For food-wise?
For food? Like, I mean, are we talking like
the funniest place to send like sports writers to eat food?
Phoenix.
They go to Indianapolis every couple of years.
Oh yeah, Indianapolis.
Oh, they gotta get that one.
But they gotta go to the steakhouse
cocktail.
or whatever.
They do the St. Elmo's like shrimp cocktail stuff. That's
Oh, that's right. When they bring the giant like tepid shrimp cocktail into the press box and everyone goes crazy for it.
I want
Santa Clara.
Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Give me Cincinnati.
Just
Nebraska
nonstop
Bonanza.
Mystic pizza.
Cincinnati. Yeah, Cincinnati.
Give me Cincinnati. I want to see like reporters.
Are we talking about the Skyline?
Trying the Skyline.
Snorting lines of Skyline.
That's right.
It's a closed.
That's a chunky line.
It's a closed-in press box, y'all. It's enclosed.
We can't. Don't get the 5-way. That's got the onions.
Oh, but like
I feel like St.
smells.
Louis would be another
No.
Sickos option.
Oh, barbecue, man.
St. Louis has got barbecue.
Barbecue's so
even though
good.
they slice their bagels a little bit differently, but that's fine.
I feel like there's probably good food in St. Louis, but everything about it is slightly off. Like that's my impression of St. Louis food. I've never been to St. Louis.
No, their barbecue's really good. The problem is in most places. The reason I said Phoenix off the cuff is because Phoenix tells me it's like, we joke that Phoenix is like chains as far as the eye can see. Like PF chains, and someone will come back and tell me, no, we have like good local food in Phoenix, and I bet there's good Southwest food, things like that. But in my mind, Phoenix is just like chains.
You know what? Just move the game here. I'll make pizza. It'll be great.
You'll make
can
quote
have the
unquote
game.
pizza.
Hey, we don't do that here.
You don't do that here.
We can we'll host the game in the baseball stadium. It'll be great.
Yeah.
So like the weirdest like food that we can send.
What if we?
I'm just proud of you all for showing restraint and not showing my two beloved cities of Detroit and Buffalo.
I mean, Buffalo would be the classic, just like wings and shit. Like, just go for it.
Wings, Buffalo. I mean, you could. Yeah, you definitely do the wings in Buffalo. You still get kind of New York pizza in Buffalo. I wouldn't say it's like New York.
There is a
You're
Buffalo
gonna get-
there is a
you're
Buffalo
gonna get
style of
fucked up
pizza.
for
It's
saying
very
that.
similar to New York, but
You're
there
gonna
is
get
a
fucked up for saying
difference.
that.
It's not the same thing as New York City, but I mean, there was good food. I enjoyed Buffalo, and the wings are amazing in Buffalo. I'll give you that. Detroit, you got the Detroit style pizza, which is good.
Hard for me to go against someone's food because there's always something I want.
I don't know.
Great Lakes has great seafood. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really like. I don't hate on like regional foods. I don't. There's not like a regional food that I'll just like. I will not try that. I will try your regional food. I will try your weird thing once. Done. I will do it. I promise you that.
Do we need to have the? Because of course, NRG Stadium in Houston is a traditional home for college football. Do we need to have this
We're
game
rice
there
players.
every year? Really?
No,
Just because
no, they do not.
the majesty of Houston, Texas, with the sunset over the bayou.
Oh,
Are you just gonna get?
open the roof.
Yeah, they're not gonna
Like
do
you remember
that.
when we tried to get them to open the roof for the Indianapolis one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was-
open the roof in Houston. Open it.
Let all the lovely humidity in.
Can you imagine? Like, I'm a large dude, right? I get the underboob sweat a lot. Like, I just be so underbooby. Oh my god.
I don't know what that would be like.
Yeah,
So-
imagine that.
Okay,
So
look.
under booby.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, there are other
No,
other
Jordan,
breast
I'm with
havers
you.
on this podcast. My apologies. Yes. Like, oh my god, so much underboob sweat.
I stand with you, Jordan. That was not a stupid thing to say.
I know it wasn't, but yeah, you're right. I assumed that the people didn't know what I was talking about. That's an incorrect assumption. I also have the problem of, because I love wearing in my mind I want to look like an elderly Cuban dude wearing like a white linen shirt and a hat. I want that, or a Guayavera shirt, but then it just sticks to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wear an undershirt, but then like in Houston especially, just sticks to me some more. Houston just does not fit my plus size lifestyle. Can we just be honest here?
Houston, I enjoyed visiting Houston the one time I visited Houston. The food was great. I did not enjoy, and I was there at the end of September.
Oh,
Your glasses.
Walking into a Target, out of the Target, my glasses fogged up.
Yep.
And it gets humid here, but not like that.
Not like that, no.
no, it's
Hello,
I don't know.
podcast.
Houston's a fun city to do that. I just open the roof. Like, to open the roof. I know it,
Hold it at Rice Stadium. Why play at Energy? Put it back at Rice Stadium.
I like the idea of there being a stadium that's basically only used for this, because I love the College World Series being always in Omaha.
Yeah.
Like, we just need to pick a mid-sized city that doesn't have pro sports or major pro sports and put the college football championship there.
What
We're all-
city is
we're
in the
all
middle of
just-
the United States?
We're all just
No.
like thinking.
Oh my
Lebanon,
Here-
Kansas.
Here's my pitch. My pitch is, right, where was college football invented?
Rutgers.
There we
Jersey.
go.
Yeah, there we go.
Mom
Piscataway.
and Colin.
Convenient to a lot of airports. Like, probably the closest one is Newark, but like there's a lot of
You can
airports.
finally capture the New York City market.
Uh-huh.
You can get there on trains, right? Like there's
Mhm.
the like even the one, like the
No-
good one.
Now, are
that-
we talking
I forget
playing
the
the
name
game
lives?
at
Yes,
Sun or at Piscataway?
Oh no, in East Rutherford. You have to. In the birthplace.
What if let's just give it to Princeton. Princeton deserves everything, so let's give them this game too. Build them a nice new stadium. Nothing.
So they can be like Rice.
Penn signed my checks for too many years. I can't do this.
Damn, yeah, that's true.
Can we use like that giant Penn Stadium that like Penn plays in instead?
Oh, the
Franklin Field?
Franklin Field.
Field.
I mean, that's.
That's it.
Are we going to use the Toast Zamboni?
Yes.
I mean, yes.
Obviously.
I mean,
Yes.
send it to the Yale Bowl.
should have had-
The Yale
they-
Bowl is hosted the Super Bowl.
the Toast Zamboni should have been at the famous Toastery Bowl.
I
But
know.
Next year. If it is in fact sponsored by Famous Toastery next year.
no, but Philly has
Mail
like
it to the
normal
Bahamas.
sports.
I'm just going down this list getting just until I get something that I don't recognize as having some serious sports. Sacramento, we like that. Colorado Springs,
The Kings.
Virginia Beach.
Mm.
How about Tulsa?
Hmm.
Bakersfield, Tampa? No, Tampa has sports.
No,
Tampa.
they don't
How
have
about-
major sports.
Let's see here.
You know
Henderson,
we're gonna send
Nevada.
It to the City Dome. I know we're going to
But
send it to the
that's
City
right
Dome.
next to
That's
Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
That's
Okay,
Las
fine.
Vegas.
Henderson's also where the Golden Knights minor league team plays.
Yeah, they stole them from San Antonio.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
the iguanas, my beloved iguanas. No, but iguanas were a long time ago.
They were the Rampage.
You know,
Yes.
That was the
Maybe the-
Rampage.
Maybe the problem is that it's too easy to get to this game.
Mm.
Okay.
It's too simple.
We're sending
we
them to
need-
Akiyavik.
Yes.
Sure. I'm fine with that. I was going to send him to Boone, but hey,
I mean that also works. Actually, hey, can I convince you to do this?
Rotating sites, Utqiagvik and Key West.
I was gonna say Brownsville, Texas, but yeah, either
oh
way.
my God, all those people in the 7 Mile Bridge. No.
Oh God, that line of traffic.
Do you think Jim Harbaugh would be mad about being sent to Barrow High School's athletic field, or like super hype about
I
it?
He'd be
feel like he'd
fired
be
up.
so excited.
Super hype.
He'd be like, "Can I have the gun? I'm going to have the gun. I'm going to watch for bears."
He would
Jim,
insist
Jim,
on
you
having
gotta,
the gun.
Jim, you gotta coach. You gotta coach. No, I'm watching for Bears.
I mean, he didn't coach half this season, so sure. Watch
They
for
don't need
Bears.
him. Bears guy.
Clearly they
That's a
don't
good
need-
suspension activity.
No one has been more committed to watching for Bears than Jim would be in that scenario.
Look, I mean, probably not the only Bears Jim Harbaugh has his eye on.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, NFL.
Yeah.
That wasn't a bit. I thought we were going for slander.
Does anyone have a real opinion about the game tomorrow?
Yes, I do. No, I do.
okay. Go,
So here's what happened, right? I'm gonna be honest, right? Like, obviously, like, I'm not a fan regularly of like any of the teams that even made the playoff, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of have to like talk myself into a team, like figure out a reason for me to get behind it, and it doesn't need to be like a great reason.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I think this is like the least interested I've been in the playoff, because I already went through the process of talking myself into a team in November, and that team was Florida State. So once the playoff, like, I was just like, oh, I don't want to have to do the work of like talking myself into adopting a team again. But
Makes sense.
then something happened today. I was watching the FCS championship game on my TV, right? It's on ABC.
Mhm.
And at halftime, right? Halftime comes on, you know, they want to talk about the you know, Michigan and Washington, and that's all I want to talk about in halftime. So I leave the room, right? Like, halftime, I don't really care about what they're saying. I'm gonna, you know, go, you know, get something to drink, maybe use the bathroom, like all sorts of stuff like that, right? Like, that's halftime stuff. I hear my dad, he's still in the living room. I hear him call to me that, and he calls me and he says, like, they just said that Jim Harbaugh is having the Michigan team watch The Accountant before the game. Like, so apparently Michigan is watching The Accountant. Maybe as we record this, maybe they've already finished. Maybe they haven't started yet. I don't know the schedule, but Michigan is watching the movie The Accountant starring Ben Affleck. They're watching that before their game. And so and by the way, I believe it was Holly Rowe on the halftime show who recorded that. So I'm now all in on Michigan. If they're watching The Accountant, like, I'm down. I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win by a lot now. Like, I'm all in.
There we go.
Because The Accountant, one of my favorite movies, you know, and I think it's a perfectly on brand movie for Jim Harbaugh. Because it's a very dad movie, if that makes sense. Like, if you think about like movies that appeal to dads, right? I feel like there's kind of a genre niche that's like mostly in the 90s, and The Accountant is like one of the only movies that's come out in like the last decade that fits into that genre. So yeah, I'm all about it. Apparently Jim Harbaugh is all about it, and so I'm all about Michigan this week.
There you go.
Do we know what movie Washington watched?
No,
Wolf
they
of Wall
might
Street.
not have watched a movie. I don't know. It's all up to the team, I think.
I'm gonna guess that they watched Air Bud, or which is the football Air Bud?
I don't
Football.
Air
know.
Bud,
Golden
Golden
Receiver.
Retriever.
Receiver.
Yeah.
Golden Receiver.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make sense for them to watch like Balto or something though? Like one of the ones about the Iditarod?
I feel like you're thinking too hard on this, because like there's nothing that ties The Accountant to Michigan.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
I mean, hard disagree.
Except everything, actually.
Hard disagree on that.
Well,
There's lots of Michigan. I mean, the mascot for Michigan might as well be Accountant.
it is on brand for them, but it's not like
It's not about a
explicitly
Wolverine.
called out.
I-
Right.
I typed in Washington Huskies movie into Google, and it's the comedy The Sixth Man
There you go.
with Marlon Wayans
God.
and Kadeem Hardison.
I am remembering The Sixth Man now because for some reason the entire movie was uploaded to TikTok and it went on my For You page.
Sure.
It is about a Washington Huskies player who dies, and it's a comedy.
Oh, real uplifting. I love it.
That's okay. That's a choice. I
That
mean,
is
well,
a
I guess
choice.
so. I would assume then that's not what they're watching. That's just what Google gives you when you type
Yes,
that in.
okay. Maybe
they're not
it's
watching
what a
that
search would
movie.
be better.
No.
Okay, Beth.
I mean-
Beth, what's the score tomorrow?
I don't know.
29-11.
Ooh.
Who's winning that? No, never mind. Fuck it. We're not saying who's winning. We're just
Nope.
giving two numbers. Pitt Girl.
35-34.
Good choice. Joey.
0-0 vacated NCAA record books.
Okay. Arthur.
Oh boy, you're putting me on the spot. I'm gonna say, I wish I was as smart as Ben Affleck in The Accountant, because he'd probably have the numbers right off the top of his head. I'm gonna say 17-6.
Like it. Commish.
33-25.
I like it. I'm gonna go 44-31. Why not? And you guys will know who's right and who's wrong when you listen to this.
That's
so
right.
I hope
You
it's
won't know
good.
if I'm right or wrong until I'm eventually vindicated.
God, don't start this. Good God.
Never wrong, just early.
Hey, how much is one of you guys gonna pay me if when Michigan wins this thing, I just tweet out a single asterisk?
Wait, hold on.
Do
A
it.
beveled asterisk.
Thank you.
Instead of the beveled M, I just sent out a blue and gold asterisk beveled.
It's got to be Amazing Blue asterisk.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. We might actually break shit.
Well, can you also bevel a cheeseburger when they win,
Yeah.
please?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, we already
Wait,
did.
actually-
I beveled a cheeseburger before.
Have we
okay,
beveled
already
Connor
did that.
Stallions?
Probably.
Can I
We
bevel
We
Bevel,
only
like?
do goddamn fresh bevels. None of this like pre-made
Can we-
bevels. This isn't a heat lamp.
Can we do a bevel of all the vacuums on Connor Stallions? It's like if they
BC2,
win,
baby.
we're just beveling everything. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I just want a good game. Give me something entertaining. I mean, we had two games basically come down to the last play. I'm fearful that we may get another TCUing.
That's a mean way to say that Michigan's going to lose like that. Wow.
I don't know. I mean, like I'm just afraid that one side will blow out the other side. I don't know
Which side is that? Which side?
I don't know.
Which side would you say? Okay.
I feel like it both could happen. Like I feel like both have the capability to do it, but Washington will let them in.
No.
Eventually.
You
Both
had
teams
the
have the
opportunity
capability to do
to go on record and say it will be a blowout, and instead you said 35-26 or something like that.
35-25. 33-25. No, but I feel like there's a high potential for that. I don't want it to happen though.
I think if it's a blowout, it will be Michigan asserting its dominance, and I don't think that's particularly likely. And even so, a blowout in those terms is not going to be like 35-0.
No.
Even if Michigan asserts its dominance, it's going to be like we're gonna Big Ten West this bitch, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh,
it'd
it'd
be
be
it's
so much
gonna be
fun
like
though if
23 to
Washington
nothing because of the
goes
160.
super airball and wins this one like 42-0 on just 4 verts every play.
Well, folks, if any of that happens, you
It
can say
won't.
we were right. And we will talk to you on Tuesday.